What's up, guys? It's Greg, and this is a new series that I want to start up, and we're calling this Gregg's Tech. I don't know what else to call it, but what I'm going to do is kind of get caught up on my backlog of repairs and projects that I want to do and document it along the way, and hopefully it'll be really interesting to kind of see all the things that are involved, you know, when I've been collecting for this long, and the repairs and things that break and the things that I want to do. So the first thing that we're going to do in this video, and this is definitely going to be a multi-part video, is try to link these two up. Now right now they're already linked up. If you hit the gas pedal, they have a network cable going between them. You can play. But what I'm talking about is I want to make it so you can play these over the internet. So my buddy Gregg, Flux Capacitor Arcade, he has one of these Rush machines, I think maybe one or two. And then I have another buddy, Chris and Lance. They hooked me up with some Rush machines up in Coal Valley. They're like the world record Rush players.
Go, 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 go! Yeah, baby! Number 5! Oh!
We're gonna link up with them. So really what I want to do is come up with a hardware platform so we can play these online. And the idea is if we can come up with a platform that, or a device for each one to connect to individually, and then that will do like a passive VPN tunnel up and forward all the traffic. So then if you hit the gas pedal here, it'll go up to the VPN where this one's also connected, and other people, they'll get that broadcast traffic. That's the idea. And then we can all play online. So let's actually go over to my office and let's review the hardware that we're gonna attempt to, you know, do our proof of concept with. Okay guys, we're in my office. Fallout 4 is pretty awesome. I definitely recommend it if you haven't picked it up yet. It's great. So let's go through and let's talk about the proof of concept, like how I think it's gonna work. And you know, I could be wrong here, but let's see how it goes. And then the hardware that I got for this, I thought about it during the week. I did an order on Amazon, and what's really gonna tell us a lot is when we do the packet capture between the two Rush machines. So some things that, you know, I kind of got a hunch on right away is when you go into the network setup of each Rush machine, you can do like, you know, do I have connectivity, or change color, stuff like that. I didn't see anything related to IP, and just from, you know, general networking knowledge, I don't think, you know, each Rush machine is an independent DHCP or they have static IPs. That doesn't work. So it's got to work on layer 2. I don't think they do IP addressing between. My hunch is it's you know, just layer 2. We're just in the single broadcast domain, and it's just by MAC address, because all those are unique for every single one. And maybe that's how it works. So to do that, you know, my first instinct or thing that I thought would work for this is I need to get a hub. So everyone knows switches, right? You plug in all your different computers. Well, those operate at layer 2 of the OSI model, where they, you know, deal with MAC addresses and stuff like that. But they allow on layer 2 each computer to communicate directly, right? So if I plug in my laptop and I want to get a packet capture between the two other Rushes, I'm not going to see that traffic. I'll see the broadcast traffic, but I won't see the direct communication traffic. So what I did is search online for a hub, and I picked up this guy. And this is actually cool because it's a throwback. I actually had this exact same model when I saw it on eBay. I knew I had to go for it because it was like 15 bucks. It's an 8-port 10 base T hub, okay? Hub / repeater. So you have 8 ports, and even has the what is it, token ring or whatever the bus is, coax. Yeah, you have coax with the terminators on each end. So this is old school. This is super old. You wouldn't want to use this for anything because it operates at layer 1, okay? And what I mean by layer 1 is it's the physical layer of the OSI model. You know, if computer on port 1 sends traffic, it basically mirrors that to every other port that's up. And what happens on layer 1 is, you know, you'll have computer 1 sending, computer 2 sends, and then you'll get a collision. And they even have a collision light on this. So what they did is in layer 2 with switches, your common switches you have now that are built into your router and everything else, that has different collision domains for every single port. So you really don't have collisions on your switches nowadays because it's layer 2 of the OSI model. It goes by MAC address. It's just not blasted to every single port. But that aside, the reason I got this is I'm going to plug Rush 1 into port 1, Rush 2 into port 2, and then my laptop into port 3, 4, whatever. And it should mirror all the traffic so I can get a really good packet capture. So then we can look at all the network traffic, and I'm going to post that. This is going to be in the description of the video. All the network traffic for when a machine starts up, when you start a game, during an entire race. I'm going to have a complete capture, and then we can kind of study that and go from there. Now the next thing I got was a Raspberry Pi Model 2. And if you're not familiar with Raspberry Pi, what it is this guy right here, okay? So it's basically a computer, okay? It's a small, super small form factor computer. It's got a network port on there. It's got 4 USBs, SD for, that'd be your hard drive or your memory. And then on board, it's a quad-core, 900 megahertz processor with, I think, a gig of RAM. And this is like $35, okay? So my idea for this is each Rush machine will go directly from the machine into this port. And then I'll use this Wi-Fi adapter, and this will go out, my guest Wi-Fi to the VPN. So that's going to kind of act as this is, when I say passive VPN tunnel, that's what this device is going to do, right? It just connects to the VPN tunnel over Wi-Fi, and then the Rush machine will not be aware of anything. It's just going to send its broadcast traffic, hopefully, out this port, and then it'll get encapsulated in VPN, and then go up IPsec or OpenVPN up to the VPN and up to the other machines. So that's the idea, okay? So I got 2 of those. 2 Raspberry Pis, 1 for each machine. And this build's not bad. With the memory card and the wireless adapter and the Pi, I think it's like $50. So ideally, when this is done, I can have an image and then, ship one of these to my buddies for $50. They plug it in, join it to their guest Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi, and then we can play, which is going to be awesome. I mean, once this idea is set, that means we can pretty much adapt it for other uses, right? If you have, I don't know if Golden Tee has that peer-to-peer kind of communication, but any other game, I guess this would work for everything, really, that works like these Rushes do. So it'd just be a matter of testing off there. So what I want to do is bring all this stuff out there. Let's plug it in. Let's do a packet capture. And then let's review the data. So let's go do that. All right, we're over in the arcade now. And I have the hub plugged in up there. The machines are still plugged in together. I want to gather some more information before we do the full setup and capture. All right. The only thing that's plugged in the hub right now is my laptop, which is running Wireshark. So we'll get our clean capture on there. So what I want to do is let's go into the game menu, right? Because I know from experience with these that, when I changed out batteries, it went to default settings, and I forgot to change the car color. Because in the menu setup, you can say you're a red, blue, black, green, whatever color car. And if you set both machines to be the same color car, they will not network play together. So that has to be a unique thing, and I'm thinking instead of IP addresses, inside the frame, they're probably encoding the car color, because that has to be unique for them to multiplay. So let's go into the menu and look at some of the options really quick here. All right, guys, this is pretty cool. So I wanted to back up and do a clean capture from start to finish. So this is the attempt. Okay, now I have the hub all plugged in. They are working, just because it's layer 1, like we thought it would be, with the broadcast traffic and the frames. So what we have here, all right, this machine, which is the one I'm going to start the game with for you guys that are interested in the packet capture, the file that's in the description of this video. This is the black car. This is the red car. The black car machine, the one where you get the first event of a game starting, the first different event in the packet capture, that's this machine starting the game. So with that ID, hopefully you can match it up later on in the capture. I don't know, should I call it a packet capture? Is it frame capture? Is it a layer layer 1 capture, whatever. Either way, layer 2 capture. Either way, let's just get into it because this is cool. I want to look at the data here and I want to see what you guys think. Hopefully you guys can help me out with this. This is going to be awesome. So let's set it up. It's running right now and you can see there's activity every second. So there's activity. So let's start the capture. All right, hopefully you guys can see this okay. Otherwise I'll show you in my office in a second here. So let's start the capture. And there you go. You can see broadcast Ethernet 2. So it's all layer 2. They don't talk IP. They just go up to layer 2 and that's it. No layer 3 IP traffic. Okay. So I'm going to start a game and I'm going to actually do a full race so you have, you know, moving data. My car is moving all the time and that'll help you too because the red car will just be stuck. It's just going to be not moving. No one's racing. You'll have a ton of activity on the black car in the capture, the one that's starting the game. So I'm going to start up and I'm going to do a race and then let's look at the data afterwards. Alright, so black car won. Let's look at the data. Alright guys, so I had the capture open here in Wireshark and hopefully you can hear me okay. It's the first time I'm using this setup. Turn it down a little. Alright, so it looks like, and I kind of looked at this for a few minutes before, right? Because you just kind of look for patterns. I have no idea, you know, what all this hex is doing here, and you know, I'm not a programmer. So just looking at patterns, you know, in my eyes, when I look at a capture, I always look at the source and destination, right? So we have broadcast traffic, and then we have our just normal layer 2 kind of traffic. But the source IP address here is always the same, no matter what. Source, here's our, I said IP, I'm sorry. Source MAC address here. It's always the same throughout the entire capture. So is it every single rush machine has an identical MAC address on that board that it uses? But in either case, I kind of looked for what's different, right? So if we always have the same source and destination, you know, then that must be a kind of multicast, right? To all of them with the same, something like that. But if you look, what's toggling here down below in the actual data, right here, this backtick and period, it's just kind of back and forth, consistently toggling throughout the entire capture. So it's got to be that the backtick is either the red or black car machine, and that this is its frame. So if we scroll down, you can see where it kind of starts here. Let's scroll down. All right, here's a bunch of traffic. And it's got to have different modes, right? Because you have the timer when you first hit the gas pedal, and I'm sure, and it broadcasts to everybody else that there's a game starting. And let's scroll down here. Come on, boring stuff, boring stuff. Here we go. Let's scroll down to, for sure we're in the race. All right, right here. So look, it's same source, and then it looks like it's this, maybe it's like a custom MAC for multicast that they set up. So it's just going to everything no matter what. His destination address here, 41746172. So if you look at that, and let's look at the data, same toggle, right? You have the period, it's got to be one car, and then this backtick. And maybe it would help if I did another capture and change the color of one of the cars, so that way we know for sure, definitively, which one's which. If you guys are curious, I'll go ahead and do that. Just leave a comment. But really what I'm looking for, this kind of confirmed that it should work with my proof of concept with the hardware, doing the passive VPN tunnel. And what's nice here, with everything layer 2 like this, I should be able to plug in one of these Raspberry Pis into the hub. Leave the hub there with the 2 machines, and then everything that's, broadcasted, multicasted out should go out just that Pi, that one Pi. And then, so I'll only have to use one for my multiple machines, and then my buddies that have 2 machines, they'll only have to use one and a hub, and we should be good. But for my proof of concept, we're still going to do a Raspberry Pi per machine, wire it up directly, have the Pi go up VPN to a server, VPN server that I'll put on the public internet, and then we'll do a capture on the VPN server itself once we run a game to make sure the traffic is actually traversing the entire internet, getting encapsulated in VPN, and playing properly. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think I'm going down the right path? Next video is going to be setting up the software in the Raspberry Pis, setting up the passive VPN tunnel, and then getting the Wi-Fi, basically like an Ethernet to Wi-Fi bridge passive VPN tunnel. It's going to be really cool, and I think standardizing on this, we can have this really awesome arcade machine multiplayer over internet VPN. I mean, that's going to be awesome. Let us know what you think of this series, the Gregg's Tech. What should I call it? How should I introduce my videos? I can't say hey guys. I can't say hey or guys. John's Arcade has those locked down. That's his thing. I got to come up with my thing, and I have no idea. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was informative, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be awesome when we can do multiplayer arcade games over VPN. And later on down the line, we can adapt the same platform and do, I don't know how we're going to do this, but the serial over VPN. So John and I can hook up our NBA Fast Breaks machines over VPN and play against each other. That's going to be so cool. There's a lot of potential with this idea. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully you like the Gregg's Tech. We got more videos coming. If you're interested in the Patreon, all that money goes towards a local buddy of mine who's doing the editing of the full episodes, so I can just get caught up on repairs and everything else. So nothing goes to me. I also contribute to that one, which goes directly to him. So, all right, guys, take care.